Alright guys, we're out here in my 04 Lincoln LS V8. Just gonna do a little bit of nighttime cruising, listening to some good stereo music. We're in the select shift mode. Third, just shifted to fourth gear. And maintaining the speed limit right now. Very comfortable car, very comfortable. If you guys want to watch a couple of my other videos on this car, I have a couple of really detailed overview videos. But just show you guys, this is the 04 V8 Ultimate. We got navigation, we got a 6-disc changer, we got dual zone climate, we got heated cooled seats. It's pretty much as loaded as they come. We also got this really nice original wood dash right here. It's also on the steering wheel and throughout the car. So there it is. We're gonna just drive around a little bit, and I want you guys to notice the really nice factory HID system in this car. When you turn off the sound, it's fantastic. So you turn it off, you can see this nice little Lincoln logo here going on. Nothing wrong with this car as of now. In terms of maintenance, pretty straightforward. Obviously, you know, once you consider straightforward being replacing coils every 2 years, and I guess some of the cooling elements, mainly the plastic parts in the cooling system, the water pump, but basic motor maintenance like that. Otherwise, really nothing to look. All right, so we got this red light out here, so it's a good opportunity to take a look at this 6-disc changer, the way it works. So we have this open button right here. It slides out. This is all original factory equipment, by the way, which is nice. You have the 6-disc loading right here mechanism. You got nice lights going on. Right now I only have one CD inserted. I usually keep it one at a time just in case the changer jams for some odd reason. But otherwise, really no problem, since you have this nice telescopic steering wheel. When you turn the car on and off, it will slide up and in. It's called the easy entry and exit mode. So right now we're driving, normal type of drive situation, shifts really smoothly. This car is fairly high miles, so I'm going to read it off the speedometer of the dash right now, 146,000 miles. That's up there for this kind of car. Of course, I've maintained it meticulously over the years, but I did acquire this one as a second-hand vehicle a long time ago. But I have had it for most of the years of the car, but not most of the miles. But it looks like it was fairly well taken care of. There's no leather rips in the leather, nothing like that or the sort. No weird noises from the suspension. What's interesting is these cars use what's called Hydra bushes. They're very soft, kind of these, oil liquid. I'm not sure if it's oil or some kind of lubricant liquid filled suspension system, but they're not simple rubber bushes or polyurethane. They're called Hydra bushes. They're fairly expensive, but over the 7 years I think I've had this car, now actually to this day, it's basically over the last 8 years, I haven't had any issues with the bushings, no issues with the suspension parts. But I do gotta say, the one issue I keep sometimes having, and this might arise out of the fact that I don't drive this car that much. I drive it maybe once a week just to keep the battery charged and keep everything going well. Basically what happens is the rear rotors start to get rust up a little bit. Now, of course, I've oiled some of the actual mechanisms and the slide pins, the guide pins, or whatever components you could possibly oil. Yes, with the correct silicone-free type lubricant also, so don't go catching me on that in the comments down below. I know someone's gonna have some kind of hater comment for this. Oh, you used the wrong lubricant, that's why your suspension parts are rusting up. But let me tell you right now, I don't want to hear that. So let's enjoy some of the rest of the drive. We got some nice looking lights in the front. You could tell the dissipation pattern of the lights is not bad. They're not beams, meaning they're not like projector beam lights. They are regular factory HIDs. You also have the fog lights on this car, but it looks pretty good. I haven't had any issues. The bulbs not once have ever burned out over the lifespan of this car. Well, the lifespan that I've had it, so basically over the last 8 years, no issues at all. I did have to replace one of the fog lights, not a big deal. It's like an $8 bulb. And here we're just cruising. Engine RPM is very low. Basically, you know, here it goes, a little bit of a look over there. I'm at 2,000. This car feels really good at 2,000 RPM. It develops 80% of its torque under 2,000. So really beyond that, it's still pretty quick, but you know, I'm not driving it to get any kind of speed out of it. I'm basically driving more or less for fuel economy, even though my fuel economy is pretty bad right now. You could tell it's 16, but I did do a lot of a stop and go red light type city driving, which is basically the conditions that this car is almost always exposed to. The only highway stints I do are maybe a couple miles here and there in this vehicle, but it is very comfortable highway type cruise car. It is rear wheel drive, so obviously in city conditions it feels fantastic. I don't know if you guys know about this, but when this car was new, it was compared to the BMW 540i of those years, and it actually beat the 540i in some of the competitions. This does have 280 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque from a 3.9 liter V8. So that is a really small block for a V8 displacement. I guess 3.9 liters is pretty small in comparison. The average Ford Mustang GT has a 4.6 liter engine, and similar year models, this Lincoln, it made a lot less horsepower than this. Of course, in terms of torque, it was probably about the same, if I'm not wrong. If I am, just let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to learn. Alright guys, just wanted to show you what this car looks like at a steady highway speed. We're doing 50 right now, and the RPMs are under 2,000. I'm at like probably 1,800 RPM right now. So at 60, this car does exactly 2,000 RPM, which is a really nice, comfortable engine speed for highway cruising. Very good for fuel economy. So right now we're doing 60, and we're at a little bit under 2,000 RPM, which is fantastic. So obviously, you know, any highway speeds is great. In terms of steering, this car does have speed-sensitive hydraulic steering. So at highway speeds like we're doing right now, the wheel is pretty hard to move. I'm actually trying to move it right now, and the car is still very, very stable. At low speeds, you can move it with your pinky. You know, so for parking, very easy. The power-assisted steering is fantastic. So this is a fairly heavy luxury vehicle. The sound insulation is as you would expect. It's very good. You don't have any kind of specially insulated windows or nothing like that, but you do have really good sound deadening, pretty thick carpets on the floor, and at highway speeds you could easily maintain a conversation inside the cabin, no problem. Now of course this car is a little bit older, so you do have a little bit of this, I guess, tire noise coming from the wheels. These are Toyo tires. They are Z-rated, but I have never really replaced them. They're more than 8 years old on this vehicle. In terms of tread, the tread is fine. There is some kind of weathering and rubber cracking somewhere around the sidewall and the tires, but they don't lose air. They ride just fine. So for the time being, I'm going to keep these wheels as is and just enjoy the car for hopefully in the next couple of years. Alright, so what else is pretty great and cool and fun about this car is the sound system. I might have mentioned it a little bit before, but in this particular vehicle, and if you guys are going to be looking for an LS, make sure you look for the ultimate one, the one that's bundled with the THX sound system. So the THX in this car comes with 2 subwoofers and a trunk. It also has the nav system, which you already saw a little bit before. Very good, accurate nav. I gotta say, I did use it a lot frequently before. This was, you know, a couple of years before the iPhones were really starting to take off with the Google guided navigation. Now, obviously, any iPhone has probably better navigation. This car, it is not satellite linked, but it is DVD based. The DVD player is in the trunk, mounted next to the subs. Very cool looking. Doesn't take up any trunk space almost at all. Surprising as how they were able to manage that. You can get the LS with a lower system. You know, the factory models come with an Alpine system, which, if I'm not mistaken, do have more speakers, but they are much lower quality speakers. So this particular car, the THX, is a certification. Basically, it was developed by George Lucas for the Star Wars movie when it came out years and years and years ago. So that's actually the history of that THX. I gotta say, I love it. I am kind of a speakerhead. I have a whole bunch of really fancy, powerful JBL and Harman Kardon, Iowa Exos 9, and newly the Fluence speaker. But to this day, I've really yet to find the perfect mix of bass and, I guess, overall sound as this car has. I've listened to some really good Harman Kardon systems in BMWs, Mark Levinson in some Lexuses, but this particular THX system in this car is incredible. Never fails. It works beautifully. Nothing really shakes, and that is because of the fact that when this car was developed, a lot of the interior trim pieces, the doors, the rear seats, everything was designed to fit the acoustics of this particular sound system. Unlike if you took like a basic Bose sound system, you know, you would have some good Bose speakers, but they really weren't designed to fit any specific car. You can get an old Infiniti G20 with a Bose sound system, or you can get a high-end Nissan Maxima with a Bose sound system. You know, a different type of car. So this particular vehicle, the sound system is really what it's all about. It really is a valuable, worthwhile option. If I recall correctly, it was a $3,000 option on this vehicle when it was new. That's pretty substantial, but it wasn't more than 10% of the car's price, which if you look at the math, the numbers say that if you wind up paying more than 10% of a car's price for an option, it's an overpriced option. But in this case, this car topped out at a little bit under $50,000 when it was brand new. But this is the V8 Ultimate with basically every single option you can get. You also have rear heated seats in this vehicle. That's pretty unheard of in these cars. The only thing I'm missing, and from what I understand, it was a dealer-only optional feature, is Bluetooth. So I don't have Bluetooth, but you know, it's fine. Just don't talk on the phone while you're driving, I guess.